welcome back to the second episode of Roblox with me, Terry Shelley. If you watched the first episode, you'll remember that I somehow managed to make a tree in Roblox. It was a short episode, not without its few little mishaps, which we'll talk about in a second, but I did actually make a tree. In today's episode, we're going to move on to the next tutorial in the Roblox studio, and that is making a door. So we'll get on with that in a second. I did want to cover off a few things though before I begin. I noticed when I played back the last recording that when I was selecting the drop-down menus at the top here, for example, when I was picking a part or when I was selecting the material or the colour, when I was creating my lovely tree, you couldn't see the contents of the drop-down menu. This was to do with the settings in the open broadcasting software that I'm using. It was recording the main windows, this main window here and the workspace, but not the drop-downs. So I think I've sorted that out now. So if I click here, you should see block, sphere, wedge, cylinder. If I click here, you should see the range of materials on offer and so forth. So apologies for that in the first episode. I also wanted to clarify or say a little more, I suppose, about why I'm doing these videos. As you can see if you've watched the first one, and as you will see if you watch any of the others, I'm not a Roblox expert. I'm doing these videos to show, I suppose, what you can learn about Roblox by following the tutorials. I'm hoping it's going to be a lot, but I think what's likely to happen is that as I'm doing these tutorials, I'm going to come across some stumbling blocks where perhaps the tutorial isn't as clear as it could be, isn't as straightforward, or perhaps just misses out a key step. And I think that often happens when we learn new things, perhaps using tutorials on the internet, or even if you're using books that you've got on a certain subject. We can sometimes hit stumbling blocks, and that can often put us off carrying on. It can just be something that just grinds progress to a halt. So what I hope to show here is that, yes, I am going to hit stumbling blocks. It may be that I have to go and look up elsewhere on the internet in between episodes to see how I fix this issue off, that I've discovered and how I sort it out. And it may be that some people watching are going to be almost screaming at the monitors because it's so obvious. But it may not be obvious to me because I'm just starting off with this, and it may not be obvious to other people who themselves may start working through these tutorials. So I suppose what I'm saying is I'm not the expert here. I'm just going to be recording myself, making my way through these tutorials. And when I do come across something that's tricky, hopefully I'll be able to work out how to solve it. And that may help other people who could be working through these tutorials and who might be similar to myself, coming across things that they too, find a little tricky to work out. So that aside, I just don't want anybody thinking that I'm some Roblox expert here. Far from it. I'm learning it as I go along. So that important caveat made, let's get on with this episode then and see how easy it is to make a door in Roblox. So all I've done here, I can close it down, we'll start again. I've got my start page up, and I'm going to just pick the base plate as my workspace. And I'm just making a little, just turning it around a bit so that it's straight on. And then, as I did last time, I've got my tutorials docked on the left hand side, so I'm going to click them, and you can see the making a door one. I've cleared this space a bit just so that I've got a bit more room. I can go further across like that, but that cuts down on my workspace, so I think that's okay. Right then, so what it says is structures in Roblox do not have to be static. The physics engine allows for many types of movable structures and contraptions using joints. So a very simple contraption to make is a door. So you start by making a frame, basically 4 parts joined together obvious looking door. Let's see how easy this is. Let's pick a part. So this here could be the base. We want it a bit bigger. And I can see that they've only got it sort of one, I forget what they call those. Whatever those things are called, the raised bit that looks like Lego. It's just one across. So let's focus in again with F, and let's get this scaled down a little. Perfect. That seems okay. Let's get a full one in. Right. So I'm assuming, though it doesn't say it, that you can duplicate. Oh, there it is, yeah. So let's duplicate it. That can be our top one. And let's pick another one. This is going to be our vertical one. So I'm assuming we need to rotate it. We needed to get it stood up. Let's pull it off the ground to begin with, so we've got a bit of room. So I'm picking the rotate button at the top here. So everything I've done so far, I've just either moved it, scaled it, made it bigger, and now I'm going to try rotating it. It looks like the blue one is the one that turns it vertical. So yes, good. Let's move it up a bit again. So it's on a bit of an angle there. Let's rotate it back. It's probably a keyboard shortcut to, let me pull this across again. Yeah, not perfect, is it? We'll sort that out in a minute. Because that door frame is not going to work like that. Let's scale it up again though. Try that. Let's duplicate it. Whoa, working with 3D is so strange. Right. So we have one side, we have the other side, we have a bottom, we have a top. That looks a bit like a door. Well, nothing like a door really, but you know what I mean. The parts of a door. Okay. I've gone in a bit closer now. I'm just going to move this up in the air a little. Oh, it's easier if I do that like so. Okay, so let's move it across. And let's move it back. And across again. Now that to me looks right. Oh no, see, if you look at it from that angle then. And it's quite deceiving. I think it's right now though. Spin around. That's quite a nice. Oops. Scroll back. Turn off this F. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna see. Still think it needs to come. I think perfect. I think this one is looking a little big as the base of this door now, so I'm gonna. I am on move. I want to be on scale. Let's try that. Okay, let's move this one over. Put up in the air. Over. Go a bit further in the air a minute. Okay. And carefully lower it and move it. I think that looks okay. Pretty straight. With the same height. Not sure. Let's swap one more. Oh, I think the reason is this is cut off half, let's call them pegs until I remember what they are. Right, excellent. Now I'm just going to put the top on. So intuitively you just pick up like that, and of course that throws it off somewhere in the horizon. So let's drag it up the y-axis and then bring it forward, bring it across. Let's look at it from the side. Wow, so deceiving. That's rather nice though. I think that's nice. We just need to pull that in a bit. Nice. Scroll that back. Oh, of course I'm moving there, not scaling. Try scale again. So that seems right. It just needs to move there. And there. Maybe move this one up a bit. Okay, so you can see a lot of this stuff, and that one right at the bottom looks a little on the big side. Just overlapping a tad. I don't know whether it matters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes at the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at the bottom. So that looks like a door. It looks similar to what we have there. The only thing I'm wondering about is anchoring. I'm going to anchor all this stuff together so that when my little character comes into the world, she doesn't knock it all over like she did in my tree. So, okay, next bit. That's quite fiddly, but nothing hard but fiddly. Next bit. We need parts to hold the hinges for the door. A hinge is a special type of joint in Roblox that only allows rotation. So you've got to create a 1 by 1 by 1 part and place it on the bottom of the frame, like so. Now, and they're calling it a stud. It's got to be a stud away. I'm looking there, and that suggests if the hinge is going to go there, one stud in, that's going to be a tiny door. So I think what I'm going to do is make this door a bit wider. Oh, and I moved it instead of scaling it. So let's try move this up again. Scale this over. That's a crazy looking door now, but I want to make sure I've got enough room. Okay, how does that look? Well, there's room for a door. So let's do this part first for the hinge. So it's a 1 block by 1. So it's this little thing. Let's move it and pop it there. Make sure we've done that right. It's going a bit. Looks fine. And then it says click on the surface tool and select a hinge. So the surface tool, so far we've just been in this home tab here. Surface tool is the next one over in model. So we go into surface and we see, what did it say to look for? Hinge. And in my hand, my little cursor hand, I have a hinge, which I now believe I put on top of this stud. Okay, yeah, that looks like a proper door. Well, a door hinge. Great. And now we make a hinge for the top. So we go back to part first of all. Hopefully put it there for me, but I want it here so I can look at it. Oh, look at the wrong part. Oh, you got part on. Oh, there's two parts. You can get a part from the model tab or a part from the home tab. Useful to know. Okay, so I repeat basically what I've done, and then I move it. This is going to be, let's move it there a minute and go in a bit. Let's lift it up. So we're roughly right. Spin around. So we're in the right, oh, we're not far off. Going on F again. Scroll out a tad. That looks perfect. And then we need another hinge, so back into model, back into surface, back into hinge, and then it's there underneath. So we have two hinges. Everything still looks lined up correctly. Okay. It says dragging a small part like this to be under another part can be tricky. Try using the move tool to put it into position, which is what I did. Now it says we need to make the door itself, create a new part and scale it so that it fits the frame. Make sure that it doesn't fully fit the frame or the door won't open. So it's that sort of thing we need. So back in home, in part, we'll get a block out. We'll bring it over here. Why won't you come? We're on move. Right, that's fine. So we want to be one sort of stud in terms of width. It's going to have to hang there, but we don't want it to go much further than there, I don't think. So we want it to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's go back to 2. And in terms of height, we want a gap at the top as well. So we'll be starting there. We want it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, oh 9. Okay. Have a look at that from the side. No, can't see them from that side. Let's go this side. Oh, you can only see the studs of the top. Okay, well let's just move it then and see if we can pop it into place. So there, there. It's definitely a bit big at the moment, so let's scale it. Look at it here. That's not far off. Okay, so scale it down so that it's about there, and move it up a sec. And then scale the bottom up a bit. And let's see now if we can slot it in place. So I think at that point there, let's have a look. See, let's look at it from the side. So we'll move it up, we'll move it across. And we clearly need to move it there. So there's a hinge there, and there's a hinge there, but right now, if you look at it from that angle, it's barely touching them. So I think for a hinge to work, it would need to be inside the door. I'm just thinking of basic, not that I'm a carpenter, but basic building things I know. So I think we do need to just make it a bit bigger on the vertical one so that it's sort of, yeah, if you look at the picture, actually you can't see the hinge. So we'll do that, and no, don't move you down. But it is flush on the side there, so we'll just move it in a tad. And I think it could go a little bit nearer the end. So it is a bit of a door. I think that could come out a bit now. Right, let's have a look at it from this angle. It's not as, this needs to come back. You can see the bit of the hinge there. So we'll pick move. That looks better. So from this angle, looks quite, so obviously something's not right at the top. I wonder if I should scale this door's thickness a bit. So you can't see the hinge that side, can't see the hinge that side. And we can a little, so let's scale it down. I have no idea if this is going to work. There's probably an easier way, an actual coordinate way of fixing, being much more exact in my positioning. It's so difficult when you're looking at it in 3D. Okay, let's see. Try playing a new game, it says, to see your door swing. Dear. Oh no, not there. Test, isn't it? Test, play. Oh, I haven't logged in. Just noticed. Didn't realise that. Okay, where's my door? Why is it already open? Shut it. Ooh. Well, it's certainly swinging. It's swinging a lot. Okay. Gently tap it. Shut the door after you. You're born in a barn? Oh. Hey. Woohoo. Well, it's definitely a swinging door and it's not falling over. Poof. Booster. It's just very, very swingy. Okay, let's stop the simulation. Don't really know why it would be so swingy. This is where my physics really lets me down. I wonder if it's to do with the size of the hinges or something. Anyway, it says the gaps in the door are needed to let the door swing open, but they do not have to be that wide. By default, using the tools such as move and scale works in 1 stud increments, but we can work in smaller increments by clicking the 5th stud radio button, which lets us drag or scale parts 0.2 studs at a time instead of 1. So it says to click that and use the scale tool to stretch the left and right sides of the door frame closer to the door, but be sure to leave a little gap on either side. It doesn't say where these are, but I'm taking a leap. I'm going into model. I can see 5th stud, and then go back into home. So I've selected the 5th of a stud. So does it want me to make that bigger as well? Because actually, if you look at the drawing, not the drawing, the picture, there's no gap at all, even with the hinge part. Don't know if that is what it wants. Have I left still a little gap there, that's fine. That may not be enough of a gap. Try that. Okay, let's see if that works first of all. Oh, I keep going in the wrong one. Okay. Okay, little guy. Move. Okay, where's the door? So let's try this. This door is open again though. A bit less swingy now. Right, it's only a door. I think we can say that much. Okay. Something though about these hinges. I think it's possibly this is too thick. So let's go back into home and scale it in a little. See if that makes a difference. Okay, and it also says it's nice to make the hinge parts smaller. Yeah, they are gigantic hinges, or hinge parts. It says these parts are as small as they can be by default, but you can change this by clicking on the View tab and then on the Properties button, which opens the Properties window, and then click on the bottom hinge part, and in the Properties window, find the field called Form Factor and change from Symmetric to Custom. Okay, so View window, Properties, click on bottom hinge, go to Form Factor and change to Custom, and now you can make it thinner by scaling it. While I'm in there, I'll do the same for the top hinge because I'm assuming we need to do it on both. Okay, so I've changed that in Properties. Back to Home, back to Scale. Let's make you a little thinner. Why aren't you moving? Oh, that one did. Nice. Oh, I think you've got to move it up. Oh, okay, lovely. So if I've done that, so I have to pick the bottom one to move up and the top one to move down. And I want to scale my door up a bit. So again, it sits on covers the hinge part properly, and down a bit. And I can still see the hinge part a little bit from that side. So let's go down a bit further. Why won't you move down? Oh, now you will. Very fiddly stuff. That looks like a very neat door. I'm trying to think what's going to happen when I test it, but let's have another go. It's probably going to be swinging open. Yeah, it's just not a door that locks. Okay, run round, little guy, shut the door. See, at least if it can be shut. Gently. Gentle. Hey! So there's probably something about why it's always open, but we can definitely shut it, open it, get bashed on the face with it, and shut it again. Oof! Careful. I just don't think that bottom hinge is flush with the top, so I think that might be very, very, just nudge it. Okay, there must be something here to make this door movement less less quick. Okay, but it is a door. It is swinging. It is only the second tutorial. Okay, so we've done all of this. It's all nice and neat. It says now the door looks much better and will still swing open. And it certainly swings. If you want to go further, try changing the colour and material of the door and frame. Well, I think we will do that. Let's make it look pretty. Let's make it a nice wooden door. So we'll go colour. So back in the home tab, over to colour. A nice sort of light wood. So that's sort of a yellowy colour, but in material we'll select wood. Don't like that. Let's have wood planks. Oh no, that looks awful because it's the wrong way around. Oh, that's awful. Sand. I'm going crazy now. Let's go back to wood, but let's change the colour then. Make it less. Let's have a nice dark one, okay. And let's do the surround, a slightly lighter colour. We're also wood. Okay, and the hinges. Can't quite grab that hinge in there. Oh, I got it there. And we'll do all that lovely material. Okay. And there we have it. Be nice to have a little door handle, but I'm not going to go mad here now. I think we have a door. One more test. I will try to figure out why it swings. Why when I start the game, the door's already open, swinging. But it does look nice. You can see that lovely wood grain actually looks better than I thought it would. Once we're in game, I'll go around again. I'm determined to get this door shut. Gentle now. Missed it. Okay, like that is it. And if anybody knows how to get this door so that it's closed when the game starts and that it shuts properly and doesn't swing so wildly, that would be very helpful. Okay, so there we have it. We followed tutorial number 2. Very, very fiddly. I think that's what I'm finding the most about Roblox. The viewpoints, the controls, it's just very fiddly, and things don't quite work out the way you think they're going to. But, you know, it's a learning curve. I can at least show my daughter now how to make a tree and a door. That is something. That is more than I could do before starting. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye!